Greetings, citizens of United States. Senator John McCain of Arizona has been a primary supporter over the years of Rio Tinto's efforts to acquire federally protected and sacred land. McCain was instrumental in attaching the land swap bill into the annual National Defense Authorization Act at the last minute. The giant mining company and its subsidiary have spent millions of dollars lobbying Congress and making donations to legislators, including McCain, according to the Federal Elections Commission, and open secrets. Rio Tinto is followed by a trail of controversy. This does not concern the copper mine's supporters. Earlier this year, protesters and unions from around the world heavily criticized the mining behemoth over alleged lapses in safety leading to the deaths of 41 people, and a string of claimed environmental abuses, The Guardian reported. Native Papuan people, and others protesting against the deaths of 33 people who perished when a tunnel collapsed in a gold mine in Indonesia, complained of Rio Tinto's alleged human rights and environmental abuses in Madagascar, Australia, Namibia and the U.S. The leader of San Carlos Apache tribe is asking the Senate not to vote on the annual National Defense Authorization Act until a provision that would allow a giant international mining corporation to start a large mining project on 2,400 acres of sacred Apache and federally protected Tonto National Forest is removed. The House already approved this bill on December 4, 2014, due to it being pushed into the National Defense Authorization Act. The land swap bill is called the Southeast Arizona Land Exchange and Conservation Act of 2013, was attached to the annual must-pass National Defense Authorization Act along with several other land-related bills. The proposed land exchange was proposed several times before, including 2013 when the House voted no. But it returned once again, in the final version of the National Defense Authorization Act. If it is approved by the Senate and signed by President Obama, the land swap legislation will allow Resolution Copper Company, subsidiary of the controversial international mining conglomerate Rio Tinto plc, the London and Melbourne-based mining behemoth, to acquire 2,400 acres of federally protected land in the Tonto National Forest in southeast Arizona in exchange for 5,000 acres and parcels scattered around the state. Resolution Copper plans a massive deep underground copper mine using a technique called block carving, in which a shaft is drilled more than a mile deep into the earth and material is excavated without any reinforcement of the extraction area. Block carving leaves the land above vulnerable to collapse. San Carlos Apache Chairman Terry Rambler is hoping that won't happen. He is also organizing a publicity blitz and movements to stop the transfer of land. Rambler told Indian Country Today Media Network, "It may seem impossible, but our elders have taught us not to lose faith in the power of prayer, and of course prayer will be there to help guide us through, but as far as a strategy, we know it is going to take a grassroots effort and a lot of awareness in the public eye to see our side of the story, and that's what we need to get out there." As part of the effort, Rambler has launched a White House petition, called Stop the Apache Land Grab, and urges people to sign on and spread the word. In addition, Rambler asks people to call or email their senators and tell them to refuse to vote or vote no on the NDA until the bill to destroy the Apache sacred site is removed. Rambler said, the land swap bill was added to the must-pass NDA because it would never pass otherwise. He continued to say, because of all the years of education we've been doing, we gained a lot of support and convinced enough Republicans that this is a bad deal for the Apache people, Arizona, and for America. The bill would not pass if it were to go through the regular process of discussion and debate. Conservation advocates and American Indian groups, particularly the San Carlos Apache tribe, have for years been trying to block the swap, saying the mine would damage natural resources and culturally sensitive areas. The 2,400 acres of land includes a varied landscape of forests, streams, desert, grasslands, craggy mountains, and a huge rock formation with ancient petroglyphs. It also includes oak flats, and nearby Apache Leap, a cliff from which a group of Apache people jumped to their death to avoid being killed by settlers in the late 19th century, and Devil's Canyon. The San Carlos Apache people and other native people conduct ceremonies, gather acorns, which is their main food staple, and medical plants there. The now public land is held in trust by the federal government and is also used by non-native nature lovers for hiking, camping, bird watching, rock climbing, and is used for field trips by Boy Scout groups. The copper mine project is widely opposed. A broad coalition of southwestern tribal nations and Indian country in general, the Sierra Club and other environmental groups, who say that the mine will devastate the water that feeds the area's aquifers, have thwarted Rio Tinto's efforts to acquire the land over the past decade. Both the National Congress of American Indians and the United South and Eastern Tribes have passed resolutions opposing the land swap and mining proposal. If the Senate passes the bill, we hope that Obama will have the courage to veto it. Hopefully, the veto then won't be overridden by the Senate. It would take 67 votes in the Senate and two-thirds majority in the House to veto-proof the bill. San Carlos Apache people's struggles won't end until the sacred land is protected. The Apache people are fighting, and will do so any way they can. Our national forests and grasslands are at the core of America's natural riches, and yet, today these treasures are threatened by unprecedented challenges. This is a bad deal for the American people, the people of Arizona. This desecrates and destroys an area of religious and sacred significance to the Apache and Yavapai people in contravention of the federal laws and policies governing meaningful consultation with Indian tribes, and protection and preservation of sacred sites. The bill directly violates the National Environmental Policy Act, the transfer of the Oak Flat area to Resolution Copper without first informing the public about the adverse impacts on the quality and quantity of the region's precious water supply, the environment, and potential health and safety risks to the public. And the bill constitutes a multi-billion-dollar giveaway to a foreign-owned mining company that is partnering with the Iran Foreign Investment Company, which is controlled by the Islamic Republic of Iran, in a uranium mine in Namibia. Republican Tom Cole, of Oklahoma, tried to offer an amendment to remove the Resolution Copper deal from the defense bill, but lost in the House Rules Committee on a 6-4 vote, with 3 Democrats supporting him, and his Republican colleagues voting against him. Consider with merits of this legislation, and closely examine whom actually benefits by the passing of this bill. It fails to protect Indians, Arizonans, and Americans. Exercise the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and help by signing the petition on the link below, and by contacting your senators about this. Protect our national forests and sacred lands, for our future generations. United as one. Divided by zero. We are everyone. We are anyone. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.